it's Shroomy! I can't believe it! The game is coming out in just 2 more days. I will have New Horizons in my hands in less than 2 more days. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this moment actually came. Of course it would, but still so excited. So this will be my last video talking about what I'm hoping will be in the game, and from here on I'll be talking about what's in the game, which is just so crazy. So ever since I was 5, I've been playing Animal Crossing, probably like a year after it came out on GameCube. And I've played almost every game in between. I think the only one I haven't done is Amiibo Festival, for reasons we all know. And with every new game, there were features I was super excited for, like the City and City Folk, and town projects in New Leaf, and of course with New Horizons, there's plenty of things I'm excited for. But with every new game, as you get playing, you start realizing that some of your favorite features from the past are missing. For example, going from GameCube to Wild World, a lot of holidays disappeared, like Halloween and Christmas. But then coming back around to City Folk, a lot of those things were brought back. So today I'm going to go over 15 features or items that in the past were in games, but they went away, and I'm really hoping with New Horizons they'll be bringing them back. Alright, let's get into it! Number 1, Morning Aerobics. Morning Aerobics was only in the GameCube game. It was from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the month of August. Now, I was like 6 or 7 when I played Animal Crossing, so I'm sure it's no surprise that I was hardly ever up in time to participate in Morning Aerobics. But I remember my brother was, and I would sometimes come in on the tail end of him playing before they packed up and left. And I just thought it was so awesome seeing his character dance with all the other villagers in this little aerobics they did. But best of all is that if you went for 14 days in the month, they would give you an aerobics radio and they'll let you dance anytime. I remember going to my brother's basement and using it to dance all the time. Hopefully 15 years later, I'll have the chance to earn it myself if I can wake up at 6 a.m. Number 2, Acorn Festival. In Wild World, they got rid of a lot of real-world holidays, probably because of room constraints, but they ended up bringing in some other ones. Among these is one of my favorite holidays in all of Animal Crossing, the Acorn Festival. For 1 week in October, a bunch of acorns would be falling from trees, and you had to gather those up and bring them to Cortimer, who denied to be Tortimer, but we're pretty sure he is. Anyway, in exchange for the acorns, he would give you the Mush series, which I'm sure is no surprise with a name like Shroomy, but the Mush series is my favorite. I particularly loved it at the time because it wasn't in the GameCube game, so it was like this really quirky and new set, and oh, I loved it, and it just made the festival so much more exciting. Anyway, I ended up being super disappointed when I played New Leaf and the festival was no more. Instead, mushrooms would appear each day in like November, like 5 would appear, and 1 would be a mush piece. It was a lot less fun. Number 3, Gyroid Storage. Oh my gosh, I was in so much denial when I got the cafe in New Leaf. I kept getting coffee, working for Brewster, and talking to him, yet he never offered to store my Guyroids like he did in City Folk. This feature was perfect. You could finally gather Guyroids without taking up every little bit of storage in your house, and Brewster would tell you if you already had that Gyroid stored so you didn't have to go through and figure it out. Then on top of that, you could scroll through storage to see and hear the Gyroid before withdrawing it. They need to bring this back, otherwise Gyroid collecting is a complete pain, and you never finish it. Number 4, Ceiling Decor. Besides this one, nothing on this list is from New Leaf or Happy Home Designer. However, Ceiling Decor hasn't been in Pocket Camp, and I haven't seen it in any New Horizons trailers, so I'm afraid it might be out. I really hope it's not, even though Ceiling Decor can kind of block your view of some of the things in your room. I think they really add to the theming of your room and just make it like a complete whole. So I'm really hoping they do bring it back and we just haven't seen it yet. I don't know, I'm a little afraid. Number 5, trading games. In Wild World, instead of being handed the golden axe for buying a bunch of trees, you have to complete a trading quest, which included 5 NPCs, which were mostly visitors. First, you had to buy and grow a red turnip. Then you had to give it to Wendell, who would either give you a turban or a country guitar. Then you had to take that turban and give it to Sahara for a red vase or a massage chair. If she gave you the massage chair, then you could take that to Tortimer for a scallop, which would go to Pascal, who would give you a golden axe. Now, I'm not saying I want this to be for the golden axe again, but a trade quest that can last a few months for some cool, rare item would be so fun. Even though it's been over 10 years since I did this trading quest, I still remember it pretty vividly because it was a nice addition to gameplay that you really hadn't seen anywhere else in Animal Crossing and just gave you something fun and exciting to look forward to. Like every time Sahara was in your town, you'd be like, this is my chance to get the massage chair. But then she would give you the red vase and you'd be like, shoot, looks like I'm gonna have to try the whole thing again. I don't know. It was just really fun and a cool little end game type of thing to do. Number 6, visitor warnings. In the GameCube version of Animal Crossing, if you went and talked to Copper, he would tell you like a week in advance if a visitor was coming, along with the exact date. This was super handy for if you didn't play every single day to know when you should be getting on. Also, when they did arrive, they would tell you what acre they were in. So even like with a wandering visitor, you would know where to look for them instead of searching your town and missing them a couple times. It also got you excited ahead of time for them to visit, like, oh, 2 more days till the 15th, and then blah blah will be here. Hopefully they'll have this in New Horizons, instead of just saying who's in town the date you ask. Number 7, the Flea Market. This was a feature in City Folk and Wild World. Once a month, you could go to a villager's house and request to buy anything in their house for half the price of what Nook would sell. Of course, some things they might want to hold on to, so they wouldn't let you buy. Like, I probably went to Lionel's house every month and was like, can I have your throne? Can I have your throne this month? How about this month? And he'd always be like, no, the throne's mine. Please leave. So, but it was fun, because sometimes you'd be like, oh, there's the piece of furniture I always needed, and she has it. And instead of just, like, bombarding them with items and hoping they end up reselling it through retail, you could actually go to them and ask them for that item. You could also sell items at your house for double what you could sell them to at Nook's. So every month I'd end up catching sharks I possibly could, then I'd load up my house with sharks and force my villagers to buy them for double the price, and then I would roll in that money. It was awesome. You could make a lot of money and finally get your hands on that item you've been eyeing. I think they did away with it because retail kind of takes that role, but I like the flea market a lot better, and I hope they bring it back. Number 8, 4th of July. Now, back in the days of the GameCube, there was no fireworks show every week in August. Instead, you just had one, and it was the 4th of July. And even though it was 1 instead of 4, I loved this a lot more. Maybe it was because I was young, but the fireworks reflecting on the lake were just so magical, and I feel like I liked the animation a lot better back then. On top of that, Red sold prizes at his stand, and I know he does this in New Leaf, but I'm a much bigger fan of the prizes he gave in GameCube. Which, speaking of fans, those were the prizes he gave. I remember being obsessed with collecting all the fans on the 4th of July. Like, I was buying them left and right. They were all over the floor. The Lost and Found ended up being filled with fans. I haven't seen fans in a GameCube game since, so I really hope they bring back that kind of fireworks show with Red and his stand selling little trinkets like fans and whatever else he sold. Number 9, collecting for a visitor. In GameCube, you could randomly run into Wisp at night. I think it was pretty late. It might have been after midnight, but it could have been after 10 because my kid brain probably went, oh my gosh, it's past 10, it's so late. Anyway, if you ran into him, he would have you collect spirits for him, and then he could give you furniture or some other thing. Then in Wild World and City Folk, you could shoot down Gulliver and gather his spaceship parts for him so he could take off. Now, I don't need either of these to return particularly, but I think it'd be fun to have some sort of villager that would have you run around the island and collect the pieces they're missing for them, and then give you some sort of special prize. Number 10, numbers in the catalog. So my inner completionist wants this back, although it's probably best if it doesn't come back. I love collecting all the furniture and seeing how close I am to completing the catalog, so to have those numbers back would be great for my little completionist self to know how close I am to reaching that goal of having everything in the game in my catalog. Alright, time for a speed round. Number 11, Ace. He was a cool bird. I don't know why he didn't come back with Welcome Amiibo. He should come back now. Number 12, Cockroach. I want him back so I can eternally step on him in the museum. Please and thank you. That would be great. Bring the cockroach back for me to catch. Thanks. Number 13, credit card. Sometimes when you're buying everything in Gracie's, it's nice not to have to load up your pockets with all the cash, but just walk in and be like, I want this. Number 14, message of the week. These were pretty funny. I enjoyed reading them. They made the billboard more important. I want them back. Some of my favorite sayings came from the message of the week. So yeah, bring that back. Number 15, drop all. For some reason, this was only a feature in GameCube. You could select like 9 things at a time, drop them all at the same time. I would like to have that again, to do those like major dumps for visiting friends or whatever. Alright, there's my 15. It's actually been pretty fun going back and playing all the old games. And I ended up discovering that there's a lot more there that didn't ever make a return. For example, in GameCube, I found lots of furniture items that aren't in any other games, which is just so weird to me. If they already have the models, why aren't they in other games? But yeah, maybe that furniture will return too. It was also really fun to relive all the features that I did remember, and like going back to the fireworks show, it really was as fun as I remember when I was like 5. Or another particular favorite of mine was talking to Brewster and getting him to store my Guyroids and hearing his little like love of Guyroids. I think that's what originally got me to love Brewster so much, and it was so fun to relive that moment in City Folk. Alright, and remember to subscribe if you enjoy content like this. I'll be posting journals of my gameplay. Like, these will be edited down versions of what I find interesting, because I don't find, as much as I love Animal Crossing, I don't enjoy watching someone play for like 2 hours a day. So they'll just be little edited versions of like important things that happened that day, or things that are exciting, or funny things that the animals say, or just little things like that. Alright, thank you for watching. I can't believe it's just 2 more days until it's out. Yay! I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am.